The chandeliers above the sterling room sparkled like diamonds, each reflection hiding the ugliness about to unfold. At the center table sat Brandon, a wealthy white billionaire, laughing loudly as if the entire restaurant existed for his amusement. Across from him stood Imani, a poised black waitress in her late 30s, balancing a silver tray with quiet grace. When she leaned in to pour his wine, Brandon smirked. "Tell me, sweetheart," he said loudly enough for everyone to hear, "if you had $1 billion, what would you even do with it?" His guests burst into laughter. Imani froze for a split second, the kind of silence that burns deeper than words. Around them, forks stopped clinking, whispers filled the room. Brandon leaned back, satisfied with his cruel little joke, completely unaware that the woman he just mocked was about to shatter his arrogance in front of everyone. If this already made your blood boil, hit like and subscribe right now, because stories like this are still happening and the world needs to hear them. Imani's hands didn't shake as she refilled another glass, but inside, her pulse thudded like a drum. 15 years in fine dining had trained her face to stay calm, no matter what people like Brandon said. She'd seen every flavor of arrogance. Men who snapped fingers instead of speaking, women who acted blind to her existence, all united by the comfort of privilege. But tonight hit different. Maybe it was the way his laughter echoed like applause for cruelty, or maybe because his guests, 3 wealthy investors, joined in without hesitation. Their mockery didn't just bruise her pride. It reminded her of every night she'd come home too tired to talk to her teenage daughter, Nia, who believed her mom worked for people who respected her. Imani's mind drifted to the worn photograph tucked inside her wallet. Her late mother in her nurse's uniform. "Never let them see you small," her mother used to say. Yet here she was, shrinking again so she could keep her job. She breathed in deeply, eyes fixed on the crimson wine swirling in Brandon's glass. This was supposed to be just another night, but something inside her whispered, "It doesn't have to be." Brandon wasn't done. He leaned back in his chair, twirling the stem of his wine glass like it was a microphone. "See, that's the thing about people like her," he said, smirking toward Imani. "They spend their lives serving others and still wonder why they never move up." His table erupted in forced laughter again. A drop of wine spilled on the white linen as he waved his glass carelessly, and he sneered, "Oops, guess you'll have to clean that up too." Imani froze, tray in hand, chest tight. For years she had swallowed these moments. Every insult disguised as a joke, every stare that reduced her to background noise. But tonight, her silence felt heavier than her fear. She set the tray down on the nearest stand and straightened her back. The restaurant's low chatter faded into a hum. Her reflection glimmered faintly in the polished wine glass beside him. A woman tired of being invisible. Imani stepped forward, her voice calm, steady, and razor-sharp. "You wanted financial advice, right?" she said, meeting his eyes. "Then listen closely, Brandon, because you're about to get some for free." The laughter stopped. Only the soft hum of the air conditioner dared to continue. "If this happened right in front of you, what would you do? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. And if you want justice as much as I do, hit subscribe." Imani took a slow breath, her voice smooth as glass. "You call yourself a businessman," she said, "but real success isn't about crushing others. It's about how many people rise because of you." Brandon's smirk faltered. She continued, unwavering. "You bragged earlier about buying out that tech company for $17 million and flipping it for 40. I read that article too, Brandon. You didn't flip it. You fired hundreds of loyal workers and stole their pensions. That's not strategy. That's theft with a smile." The woman beside him gasped. One of the men cleared his throat and looked away. Imani stepped closer. "And you sit here mocking a woman earning an honest living, forgetting that some of us had to build what you were born into." Her words sliced the air like glass through silk. Brandon's cheeks reddened as he realized the entire room was listening. Forks paused midair. Even the pianist in the corner stopped playing. For the first time that night, the billionaire who mocked everyone had nothing left to say. The restaurant felt suspended in time. Every sound had vanished. Even the pianist's hands hovered above the keys, waiting to see what would happen next. Brandon's jaw tightened as his friend shifted uncomfortably. The woman beside him looked down, cheeks flushed with shame. The same people who laughed seconds ago were now staring into their glasses, pretending not to exist. Imani didn't flinch. She simply wiped her hands with a napkin on his table and looked him straight in the eye. "You said winners write their own destiny," she said quietly. "But tell me, Brandon, how many people had to lose so you could call yourself a winner?" The words hit harder than any scream ever could. Brandon blinked, his throat dry. He wanted to argue, but there was no ground left to stand on. From the corner, another diner murmured, "She's right." The silence deepened, the kind that demands reflection, not defense. Finally, Brandon swallowed hard and whispered, almost himself, "Who are you?" Imani's lips curved in the faintest smile. "Just someone you underestimated." And with that, she turned away, leaving him staring at the reflection of his own arrogance in a half-empty glass of wine. Minutes later, the tension still lingered like smoke. Brandon sat frozen in his chair, replaying every word she'd said. His friends tried to change the subject, but guilt hung too heavy in the air. Finally, he pushed back his chair and stood up. Imani was behind the counter, helping a busboy stack plates. When she looked up, Brandon was there. No arrogance this time, just a man who finally realized he'd crossed a line too many. "Imani," he said quietly, "I owe you an apology. What I said wasn't just rude, it was wrong." Her expression stayed calm, unreadable. "Apologies don't erase disrespect, mister." "Brandon, they just prove someone's listening after the damage is done." He nodded, shame flickering in his eyes. "You were right. I built my fortune without thinking about who I stepped on. You opened my eyes tonight." He reached into his jacket and pulled out a business card. "This is my direct line. I'm on the board of the Hartwell Foundation. We fund social programs and business development projects. I want you to consult with us, if you're willing." Imani glanced at the card but didn't take it right away. "I don't need charity," she said softly. "Then don't call it that," he replied. "Call it a chance to build something real." The next morning, sunlight spilled through the thin curtains of Imani's small apartment. She sat at the kitchen table with a cup of coffee, the billionaire's card resting beside a picture of her daughter, Nia. For years, she had served people who thought wealth meant worth. Last night proved otherwise. Her phone buzzed. A message from Brandon read, "Meeting at noon. No staff, no cameras, just an honest conversation." I meant what I said. Imani looked at the card one last time, then smiled faintly. She didn't know what the future held, but for the first time, she wasn't scared to find out. The world had seen her strength. At the Sterling Room, whispers still floated about the black waitress who silenced a billionaire. Some called it defiance, others called it courage. But for Imani, it was simply truth spoken out loud. She picked up her purse, kissed Nia on the forehead, and whispered, "Today's not about serving anyone, it's about being heard." As she walked out the door, the same sun that once shone on Brandon's arrogance now illuminated her quiet power, a power no money could ever buy. If you believe this should never happen again, share this now. And to my USA, UK, and Canadian viewers, your voice is power. Use it.